welcome back. I am Bahamut, your caster. Everybody says everyone's ready to go. The good luck, have funs are out. We are going into another Nexus Gaming Series matchup here. On the left-hand side, we have Come Hat Me Bro. I want to be right on this. Come Hat Me Bro versus Illusion Esports on the right-hand side. My apologies for that. But either way, we are going to go into Tomb of the Spider Queen first here. Pick by Come Hat Me Bro. It's a strong first pick. I really like the map, to be honest. I think the draft on this map is very interesting. There's a lot of things that we don't typically see. Things along the lines of a lot of mages with wave clear focus, so the Nova ban potentially. Malthael being banned out here, not a bad idea. Strong solo laner as well as the percentile damage is really good for 2 tank comps. I don't believe in Nova bans, so either way, still going to have a good matchup. I mean, Tomb of the Spider Queen, we typically see a lot of things in the game where we have like a one-man and a solo laner in top, and then you have a 4-man rotation, or excuse me, solo laner in bottom, and then we have the so we have the solo laner in the bottom, and then we typically have a 4-man rotation between top and mid. So interested to see what the priority on the side of Come Hat Me Bro is going to be. And as I said, they're not going to waste their ban on a Nova. So ETC being banned out here. Extremely strong tank. I actually really like the choice on that. There's going to be a garish pickup here on the side of Illusion Esports. The garish is extremely strong, so I'm glad that they went with that. He sets up the team for a lot of things here, and so getting that in the first slot isn't a bad choice at all. What are we going to take here on the side of Come Hat Me Bro? They're going to go straight into the Leorc and Rhaegar. Getting good wave clear from both of these heroes as well. So potentially even locking in their solo laner right at the start. I like this. They've got a good draft on their hands on the side of Come Hat Me Bro. But what is Illusion Esports going to take before we go into our next ban phase here? We often see a priority on Stukov. He has very good just zoning capabilities, as well as his lane clear is extremely strong, and his sieging. The utility that it provides to the siege is quite strong in my opinion as well. So a priority onto him before this ban phase wouldn't be bad at all. But sometimes we also see things like a Ariel combination with Gul'dan. Often the damage output from him paired with her is quite good for her Hope Bar, as well as the lane clear that he has is pretty powerful. And if they do those 4-man rotations between top and mid, well, they're gonna go into the Vala, but it's still not a bad choice at all. The Ariel Vala combination is strong, and it is it's one of those kind of tried and true, healer assassin combinations. So I absolutely like this pickup here. Now, looks like they're actually banning the Tassadar. Another strong laner, and he would have just honestly enabled the Vala so much here. So definitely a really good ban. Now, the real question is, what actually do they fill in those last slots? But either way, we still have our next ban here on the side of Illusion Esports. Looking at the draft of Come Hat Me Bro, they definitely have, they have a strong... Honestly, they have an offlaner, so something like an Arthas wouldn't be horrible if they do want to just knock out that second tank. He is quite strong. And even then, I mean, there's definitely other options. Kel'Thuzad's still an option here, definitely for a ban. And they're going to go for the Anub'arak. The web wrap is extremely powerful, so it would have just completely hindered the Ariel here, and I like that. The Anub'arak band is extremely good. The other factor too to consider here is the The dive that he has and the stuns that he have are extremely powerful, so that is definitely streaming again. No, this time we are going to be streaming Nexus Gaming Series matchups. This is Division A, Come Hat Me Bro versus Illusion Esports. Unless my stream title didn't update, I'll make sure I push the button one more time. But no, these are a matchup for Nexus Gaming Series, and this is Division A. So these last two slots, what are they going to be picking up here? They're going to need their solo laner, as well as some melee. Honestly, like, thank you so much for Ramson. Thank you so much for the follow. A Stukov wouldn't be horrible here. It's not. Excuse me. Not well. Even honestly, Stukov wouldn't be bad either. But definitely a Greymane and even a Dahaka wouldn't be bad. The Dahaka having that global threat can respond to the team, but they're going to go ahead and get the Kael'thas Dahaka. So they're going to go ahead and get the Mage for the wave clear and Dahaka for the solo lane. I really like this. The draft out of Illusion Esports is quite interesting here. Now, in response, what are they going to be taking on the side of Come Hat Me Bro? They went for that Joanna Cassia combination. Not bad at all. The Cassia has some pretty decent damage, but the Dahaka, she has such a short range that Dahaka becomes a little bit worrisome, and then the follow-up damage that you can get from the Kael'thas is going to be... It's going to be difficult to deal with. I mean, definitely, you know, she does have that armor from her ability to auto-attack and get, you know, as she's auto-attacking and moving, she is getting... Basically, if you stutter step with her, you get extra shielding. But the thing is, if you're thrown behind an enemy team, you don't want to stutter step through the team. You want to get out of there as quickly as possible. So, this is interesting. And they're going to go ahead and get the Lucio. Okay. I like the Lucio here. It will kind of help out with the, you know, that tongue burst that they will get from the kill. You know, the combination of the either the toss or the tongue. The sound barrier is going to be an extremely useful tool on the side of Come Hat Me Bro. But either way, we are getting into this matchup here, and I am so excited. Yes, this is game number 1, and just to introduce the teams, on the left-hand side, we have Come Hat Me Bro with The End on Rhaegar, Fatal Rampage on Joanna, Art Vandalay on Lucio, Burger on Leoric, and Direk on Cassia. On the right-hand side, we have Illusion Esports with Kael'thas on Unaverted, Ariel, played by Defender, X-Fuser on Dahaka, Kozer on Garrosh, and Medieval on Vala. That is... once again, Illusion Esports. I think I said it twice. My apologies.
Prepare yourselves. The battle begins shortly.
And the teams are really nice to each other. Say good luck, have fun. So we actually have... okay, so Garrosh is going into Unrivaled Strength. Kael'thas is going into the Mana Addict, so I'm not surprised about that. The Convection stacks, I don't think they're that great. The Mana Addict at level 1 has way much more value throughout the game. And Joanna's actually going to be going into the block stacks. That's interesting. Currently have X-Fuser going up into this bush here a little bit. Potentially getting a tongue onto one of the members if they do rotate a little bit too aggressively here. Kozer right there just to see if he can get the toss right after the tongue. And there is already the positioning for the follow-up here. Tongue does go out, but it does not connect. Kozer was not able to get that extra toss. Leoric already going into bottom lane. Going to go ahead and start laning up here, making sure that he does get that early game value. Going to have Dahaka going into this lane as well. This is going to be... this would be the priority of what we will be viewing here. We're actually trying to rotate with this 4-man. We do get the whip out from Defender. Definitely living up to his name. Huge flame strike from Kael'thas. But this early game, not a lot of damage coming out from that. Just, you know, enough for the wave clear. Definitely just, you know, especially with the Lucio and the Rhaegar here, the Kael'thas in the early game isn't going to be too worrisome, but the D-Rack jumping in there, trying to get a bunch of damage out onto the Ariel. We actually have a toss onto D-Rack here, and that will be the first kill of the game, going over to Illusion Esports. And with that, they are going to take this aggressive rotation, and they're going to be pushing these teams back, going straight into Fatal Rampage, on a verge just saying, you know what, I'm a kill toss, whatever, but you just lost your Cassia. So what are you going to do with 2 healers and a tank? And I definitely like the aggressiveness from Illusion Esports here. They're definitely doing a very good job of just making sure that they're kind of commanding these lanes. They've already rotated the kill toss ahead of the team, making sure that he's already kind of doing these clears and everything. There's actually another toss onto D-Rack here. Will get caught out, and I think this will be a follow-up kill once again to Cassia. Fatal Rampage will get the pull. The Unstoppable is used. Able to get back behind the gate, though. There is not much they can do at this point with the Cassia dead. Once again, they have Killtoss doing these little bit of, faster rotations. He's going ahead and clearing the wave, while the rest of the team is kind of pushing into the gate, taking out some of these tower shots, and just getting a lot of the pressure. And the aggressive side of Illusion Esports in this game has just been absolutely terrifying, to be honest. These tosses have just been, anytime there's a toss, there seems to be enough follow-up damage for the kill. Unfortunately, this time it was on the tank, so Fatal Rampage will be able to get out of there. The blind is out from Cassia. Having the rest of the team backing off here. Kozer is a little bit low, able to kind of just take advantage of that. The D-Rack having to spread out, making sure the chain bomb doesn't hit onto any of the members. And now, currently in Dahaka, we do in bottom, we have this Dahaka up against the Leoric, and does not look like that matchup is going to be doing too much besides just the back and forth. But we do have Fatal Rampage here between so many of the members of Illusion Esports, but fortunately there will not be a kill because of the double healing from the Lucio, and the Rhaegar is able to keep him alive so easily. But these rotations, once again, as I was saying, they are just getting into these lanes. There is another toss onto Fatal Rampage. There is no Iron Skin this time. Will they be able to save? Unfortunately not. The boost from Lucio was not enough, but he was able to steal back the majority of the gems, it looks like. D-Rack trying to get a little bit of poke damage out, making sure they're not going into that turn-in just yet, because they are, I believe, quite close to a full turn-in here. In bottom lane, just checking out what this matchup is looking like. Currently, just Leoric just getting pulled into these towers every so often, taking a couple shots. But at this point, this lane clearing that's been done by Illusion Esports has been phenomenal. At the same time, come at me, bro. They've done a very good job of just making sure that they're just kind of pushing up into the lane, and they're capitalizing on the lost experience of those early game kills. Now, granted, they are early game I said kills, but I mean deaths. The early game deaths, they're not going to yield a whole lot of experience, but at the same time, Iron Skin is actually forced out here, so that's going to be about a 45-second cooldown, if I remember correctly, that they're going to be having to wait on. And at the same time, this is Web Weavers with it, so not the best time to kind of pop that Iron Skin. Looks like Illusion Esports, they're going to be deciding between mid or top. Top, in my opinion, is the better choice, mostly because it is the boss lane. That is typically the win condition, and it is the shortest lane in the game, I believe. So making sure that this lane is always pushed up is your best bet if you're trying to go ahead and get, that definite win on Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is the lane you want to be pushing with the Web Weavers. Pulling from Joanna. Condemn is out on a few of the members. There's actually a toss on to the Rhaegar, who's separated from the team. The end will be meeting his own. Toss on to Medieval to get that kill, and they will zone away these gems at the same time. Also, huge condemn out from Fatal Rampage, pulling a few of the members together. Blind out onto a couple of the members as well. But Art Vandalay just extremely low at this point, getting healed up just with the passive healing that he can do. There is a stun on to Joanna. Unstoppable is used. There is the whip into the tower. Fatal Rampage getting a little bit low. There is the double blind out onto a few members. None of the follow-up damage is available. The first Web Weaver, actually the Web Weavers will currently be falling in all the lanes. Mid is potentially going to get a tower here before it dies. And the mini wave should be able to get it. And so at this point, that is going to be the first tower going over to Illusion Esports. And there's just about a 2-level difference here. It looks like they're going to go ahead and use that and just keep pushing into this tower and potentially work closer towards those 10s. Looks like we do have Leoric trying to get this turn in here. They do have enough for the full turn in on the side of Come Hat Me Bro, but the thing is they need to play extremely safe here. The 10s are almost on the side for Illusion Esports, so that's definitely something that they're going to need to worry about. As well as the fact that if they feed into this, that definitely can start to snowball in the favor of Illusion Esports. They're actually going to rotate very aggressively into the hard camp of their enemy here. And this is just some very aggressive posturing. We have Dahaka coming in here as well. So it looks like they're going to try and maybe even go for a gank after this. Oh, this Leoric, I don't think sees this coming. Okay. The capture goes off and he starts to turn around right away. So they go ahead and they actually make sure that if anyone did invade, they had their entire team. And this is 10, so the Web Weavers are summoned on the side of Come Hat Me Bro, but at the same time, 10s have been achieved on the side of Illusion Esports. So they're going to be, you know, having the Web Weavers for this defense, which would be great. Bottom is going to get pushed in quite a bit, but this is a 5-man in mid lane. Leoric coming in for the flank. They don't have any sort of asset. There's a... Oh, the cleanse out onto Direk. But it looks like we have Leoric here in the fight. He is into the backline using his Wraith Walk, falling extremely low. The Chain Bomb is onto him, but he will be able to walk away without a problem. And looks like this will be the complete disengage as they go and start to clean up the rest of their lanes. Illusion Esports making sure they clean up. They open up that mid lane for the next Web Weaver. Top lane is currently defended completely, and bottom lane it's got the gate down and a couple towers, but they're gonna try and at least clear this up, not lose too much. They do lose the well in bottom, and potentially they might even lose Exfuser here. Is able to walk away. I believe he didn't even, no, he doesn't have it. He just had Essence. He doesn't have adaptation in this game. He took Isolation. Very interesting, but 10s have been achieved on the side of Come Hat Me Bro, so this matchup has been just kind of leveled out a little bit. There is a potential for a tongue here from the Dahaka, but the rest of the team has rotated up at this point, so there is a huge fight starting out here. Taunt onto the Lucio, the cleanse is out, the break it down is there as well, providing much needed shields to the team. There is the Mark of Black King out from the Leoric, the huge condemn from the Joanna, pulling them back together. There is the Ancestor out of the Lucio, keeping that healer back up alive. Fatal Rampage falling extremely low here. They're going to start chasing these members down, potentially getting another kill, or getting the first kill. They're going to go ahead and toss Direk here into the backline Burger, and that will be the first kill in this engagement, followed by the Leoric. They're going to start chasing down Arc Vandalay here. Dahaka might have a tongue available. There's the boot back. They go ahead and turn around, and they could potentially make a boss call here at about 8 minutes into the game. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and move on to this boss. Because of the fact that Come Happy Bro does not have the availability of their heroes in position now. Granted, they could rotate onto this. They actually get the turn in with it as well. So they're going to... Okay, so there is an invade for this right away. Unfortunately, the entire team is there. Burger's actually out here all alone. Gets thrown out by the Garrosh. He goes right back in. They get the summon onto the boss here. Leoric will be falling at the exact same time. There is a throw forward onto Medieval. Vala just trying to get extreme amount of damage onto a few of these members, making sure the dismount's there as well, slowing them down here to make sure that they don't get any sort of, you know, positional advantage, that they're getting to the gate at the exact same time. Currently have a decent push currently happening with this boss. Now the Web Weaver is currently walking up into the lane right behind. There is a toss onto the end. There is the taunt as well. The break it down is there from Lucio. That sound barrier will be able to save him. He gets out alive. Now there is a work into that backline. Burger trying to get so much out. Art Vandalay will be falling. That will be Lucio dying in the situation. Fatal Rampage getting thrown behind the team. There is the Unstoppable used, but unfortunately this will be the whip into the wall and the kill. And that is going to be a Web Weaver and a boss currently marching onto the core in this first game on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We currently are working down this core. Lucio is back. Joanna's going to be up in a couple seconds. They can potentially turn this around. They get the pull onto one of the members. Vala is isolated. Crystal Aegis is there, actually, excuse me. Rhaegar is going to be falling here. The blind is out from the Cassia. Fatal Rampage is trying to get so much damage here. There's a Web Weaver coming in through the mid lane. That is the core falling. First game going over to Elysian Esports. GG, well played. And just an absolute amazing first game. We'll take a quick peek at some of the numbers here, and we will also take a quick peek at some of the talents, and then we will go ahead and stop the next lobby because we're going to get into this next game. I am absolutely thrilled for the next one. But Leoric, just the siege damage from Leoric, 65,000. And compared to the Kael'thas, though, who ran in that 4-man, he was double laning. So the Leoric getting a lot of value there on the sieging. realm, but at the same time, the hero damage that came out from Illusion Esports, it shows Vala and Kael'thas doing so much work. Cassie is so close with 30,000, but you can tell that Vala and Kael'thas, they were just putting out so much damage onto the members of that team. Absolutely phenomenal play from both teams. Wonderful game. The Valkyrie was interesting. I saw that come out and I was like, huh, that's not Ball Lightning. But either way. Now the Ball Lightning, I don't know. They stacked up a lot. Maybe Ball Lightning might have been the best choice. But either way, we're going to get set into the next lobby. Just talked about the talents really quick. We will set up this lobby right now. Where are you, map? There you are. All right, make myself... Oops. I have to just set up this stuff. Okay. Pro versus... Oh, I can just copy this. Right, they are going to be loading in the lobby. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you so much for stopping by. I see everyone in Twitch chat. Thank you for stopping by and watching the games. I really appreciate it. If you are enjoying the games, please hit that follow button. I'm casting these games as much as I can, so definitely. And there's a ton of stuff down the pipeline. I mean, we're going to be doing a little bit of stuff for the off season, like the Heroes Boot Camp, which is before any of the Heroes of the Dorm stuff starts. So it's just we're going to be casting some college games. We're going to be casting some of this NGS stuff. There's a couple of Chair League games left over. When Heroes of the Storm HEC Open is back, we'll be jumping back onto that in a few weeks. So. Do I need to swap? I think I need to swap everyone. Okay, cool. All right, so they let me know who needs to go where. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I didn't spell it right. All right. Well, we're just waiting on one member of the teams here. I'm going to go ahead and just update my little scoreboard. The right side. Correct? Yeah. Okay, cool. That updated. Close that. Okay, so it looks like everyone's set. Okay, and it looks like we will be going into Infernal Shrines. Hypercarry Cassia clearly doesn't work. It does not. You guys remember that one time they didn't take Ball Lightning? I apologize. Like Twitch chat, I love peeking over at my Twitch chat every so often. It's just the thing. You guys, Hypercarry Cassie doesn't clearly work. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. There was a game where I believe they actually did that. I casted on Friday night. I believe they actually ran a Hypercarry Cassia. And I can't remember what division that was. I can actually look really quick. That was Division A, actually. So, some teams can run it, it looks like. But we actually have the ban out onto Cho'Gall here. Garish is actually going to be picked up on the side of Come Hat Me Bro. Quite interesting. Oh.
You could give the best hugs.
Inbred Sourdough, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. ETC pick, though, right out the gate. I really like this. Especially on Infernal Shrines. ETC is just... He's just extremely strong, and I'm absolutely excited about him being first picked on this map. I mean, we haven't seen... ETC hasn't been prioritized in quite some time, and I'm glad to see him back into the meta of things. I mean, he's definitely just... His overall kit is so extremely strong, and there's just so much versatility to him, and he provides so much to a team, and it just... I'm glad there's the prioritization onto him. With this, though, on Infernal Shrines, if they're going to go into a healer, I personally think they should be going to the Stukov here over a Rhaegar. Stukov providing better zoning. But the reason I go for the Stukov here over the Rhaegar is because the pustule spreading. Typically, you are on the shrines as a 4-man. The healing that you get from that spread is way better than the chain heal from the Rhaegar, in my opinion. Granted, he does not have a cleanse, I believe, so you are in that kind of situation. But there is the flailing swipe at 10, which kind of works as a cleanse in a sort of sense, where it's just like get away from my team member kind of thing. So it just absolutely a wonderful pickup here at the start of this game. What's it like living in a forest? No, I live in like a mountain town, so like there's like, if I literally look out my window, there's just trees and forest. And like 2 weeks ago, I was walking my dog in the morning, and I literally couldn't get into my house because there was just a bear just hanging out my front yard, and I had to wait for him. But the neighbor popped outside and asked if I wanted coffee while I waited, so that was nice of them. Dahaka and Greymane going to be locked in here on the side of Come Hat Me Bro. Definitely getting that global threat, so he will be that solo laner in top. Greymane extremely powerful on the shrines, and I really like this pickup, especially because I expect him to be ran in the 4-man. There probably will be rotations between mid and bottom, since the lanes do have similar rotational speed, much like on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they're going to ban out the Rhaegar here, which I think this draft is moving really, really quickly. But I absolutely love the Rhaegar ban because of the fact that they have that Stukov. They look at the draft of Come Hat Me Bro and they say, your next pickup is going to be a healer. What are you going to take? And so they just say, it's going to be, Rhaegar is probably going to be their crutch. The Ancestral is going to be extremely powerful for the team, even on the Greymane. Now, the other thing they need to consider, though, is the Uther with the Greymane, because Uther D-shield on a Greymane is a little terrifying. As well as just overall, like, on Infernal Shrines, Uther does do really, really well on the shrines as a healer. A lot of people stack up. Even if he does die, he definitely does get... Bet they took Ball Lightning. I actually, to be honest, I think on that Friday game, I bet they actually did. If you go back, you can definitely see it. Thank you. I appreciate that. At this point, though, the ETC Stukov, looking at that draft, you can really go in any direction here. I wouldn't be too surprised to maybe see them... They don't have to go double support here, but if they did, maybe even going into a Tassadar and something like that Valo again, that would not be a horrible idea for them here. Tassadar would just enable the Vala extremely well. The shielding would be beneficial for the team on these shrines. And then if they wanted, they could technically hyper carry with that Vala and then just go into Diablo on their last pick, which would be extremely powerful for the team. There's a lot of stuns that would benefit the ETC, and so long as they can keep the Vala alive would be absolutely perfect. But that's them, being like crutching on a hyper carry, which I personally just worry about that constantly. But hey, that's currently how the draft is being played out. They go for the Arthas for the solo lane here, and I really like that. Arthas is an extremely strong solo laner, and I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. Going up with Dahaka, though, I don't know how that matchup's going to go. I think overall it should be pretty much of a stalemate. I don't think Arthas wins over Dahaka in a 1v1. You didn't jump and fight the bear. It's honestly, it's a little black bear, and he's tiny and adorable, but I'm not going to go. Like, every bit of me was just like, it's just a bear. Just go walk in your house. And I'm just like, don't. Everything in my body was like, why would you walk towards a bear? Like, don't. Just stand in the street and wait for him to go away. But either way, we have these last 2 picks on the side of Come At Me, Bro. And they're going to be needing to pick up a support. I honestly think it should be Uther, and then they can pick up... Okay, so they're going to pick up a mage with that with Kael'thas. Ooh. I like the Lieutenant Morales here. I played her a couple yesterday. I played her yesterday, and I haven't played like Morales since the rework, and I think she feels way better. I don't know. It was actually fun to play that hero, because before it was just like stand in the back, make sure your positioning's good, and then use your grenade just to be a complete jerk. And that's honestly the thing is, like, the grenade, I don't know, the grenade feels amazing right now, and especially because of the fact that I could just sit there and just displace people constantly. The level 1 range talent for Stukov. Oh, are you talking about the where it expands the expanded AoE, like the radius of it is increased? I absolutely love that talent, especially on a map like this. This is the map you have to take it on, because you can literally block someone off from entering in. Okay, so they're not going to go for the... I was thinking Tassadar because he has a really good value on the shrines, but then you are crutching on that hyper carry Vala, which doesn't look like that's what they're going to be going into on Illusion Esports. They're going to be going in for that Lunara. Poison damage is going to be really good. The question is, will Morales out-heal the poison damage out from Lunara, or will Vala have enough burst to complement that damage on top of it? We'll see. We are going to be going into our second game here. I am so excited. On the left-hand side, we have Come At Me, Bro, with The End on Morales, Direk on Greymane, Art Vandalay on Kael'thas, Fatal Rampage on Garrosh, and Burger on Dahaka. On the right-hand side, we have Illusion Esports with Exfuser on Arthas, Kozer on ETC, Defender on Stukov, Unaverted on Lunara, and Medieval on Vala. I feel like I said Exfuser really weird there. Alrighty then. So here we go into our final matchup here. These games are out of 2. That's the way the NGS point system works. If there is a 1-1, it's just a draw. Each team gets, I believe, 1 point. If and if you 2-0 a team, you get 3 points. I believe that's how the system works. I'd have to double check, but either way, this is going to be our last matchup of the evening. After this game, though, we will host another streamer, so just stay tuned. But either way, we're going to go into this game first. So we do have that level 1 Morales clear. So she will be questing off of those. And those 30, they're not horribly hard to get. We actually, this is interesting. We have Spine Launcher at level 1 for Stukov. Very interesting, actually. Okay, well, we'll see how that affects the draft as we go into as we progress through this game here. I personally think that the radius expansion, especially on a map like this, is way more beneficial. But either way, we'll see how the teams utilize that now. We currently have Dahaka burrowing into top lane. That will be going up against the Arthas here. We'll try and peek up here as best as we can, try not to miss the kill. But the majority of our game will be focused on this 4-man rotation. Huge displacement from the Morales there. Vala having to rotate a very far distance at this point, getting chased by quite a few of the members, but there will be the silence to kind of disengage the rest of the team. Come At Me, Bro, not able to get the kill on Medieval there. They're going to have to rotate a few of the members out of this standardized rotation just to make sure that they clear these lanes and start to get back. At this point, Come At Me, Bro is controlling the laning situation here. They actually are using Direct to zone away Defender there. Unaverted getting a little, was potentially a pick, but looks like, you know, they noticed the rotation in time, that she wasn't too far out, so it should be fine. Now, ETC will kind of see these guys rotating around this map, making sure Medieval is going to back off here, and that's exactly what they do. They're utilizing their tank extremely well here. making sure that their hero is not going to be out of position for a potential pick before this first shrine. And conveniently for these two, it's right next to them, so they can just keep doing their 1v1 while the rest of the team are going to be doing these rotations, trying to get closer to 4, stacking on some of those talents. Now, Kael'thas is at 6 out of his, I believe, 30, no, excuse me, his 20 that he needs for Mana Addict, yes. So he is currently just burning through those stacks quite efficiently. Rest of the team will be rotating up, and this is, oh, okay, a little bit of a worry that I was going to have like a computer lock or something, but we're good. Looks like we will have Burger, though, rotating in here, and the rest of the team will be coming in as well. And actually, they're going to go ahead and give this over. Illusion Esports is going to say, you know what, the first one, we don't think it's that worthwhile. We're going to go burn down bottom lane. And that's exactly what they do. Meanwhile, Arthas is currently pushing in the mid, so this pulls a few of the members off the shrine. It actually pulls 3 of the members. They get a tongue onto unaverted here, and Dahaka falling extremely low, having to use his essence. Burger falling so low, gonna get hit by the Vala. They will get that kill. Now, Fatal Rampage is going to be falling as well. Art Vandalay, are you going to be next? The slow is there from Lunara, and Kozer sliding in. That is going to be the confirmed kill onto him. And so they do get the punish, so they lose 3 members, and they lose out the majority of their bottom lane. Now, the fort's still there, but they don't have the towers. They don't have the well. And so, you know, they might lose out a little bit in this top lane, but at this point, overall, I think Illusion Esports came out on top. They have the higher level advantage. They got a little bit more value during that. And they also got a couple picks, so that was definitely, you know, delayed the enemy team from getting any more value, I think, that they could potentially get in this with this push, because of the fact that they are rotating in from the Nexus as well, in comparison to Illusion Esports, who just, you know, reported to this as the 5-man, because, or well, 3-man actually, excuse me. But currently, Fatal Rampage is actually going to be going in on a few of these members. Now, the end is here to be able to give a little bit of healing. The toss is there on Kozer just for the disengage. D-Rec coming in here, getting dismounted by the camp. Tongue is out from Burger, but we will not have any follow-up damage. Now, Lunara and Arthas are currently in top lane, so they will have to play a little bit safe down here in bottom, but the rest of the team, they're dedicating a lot of assets to this, and they potentially could get a huge benefit, but unfortunately, Defender getting that burst healing out from the Pustule in time, able to walk away with a few hundred health, able to also tap as well. Now, Art Vandalay currently is just hanging out in this bottom, waiting for a potential pick. They are extremely close to their 7s here. And looks like they're just going to be moving in and out of this, just trading who's in the bushes down here. Currently, we have a little bit of a chase in the mid lane for Lunara versus D-Rec, but that will back off right away. And she's actually caught between the Garrosh and the... Okay. There was potential there for a collapse onto the Lunara, but unfortunately that won't be happening. Burger having to push back against this camp. Looks like they will rotate their Arthas at this time. The next Immortal should be coming around quite soon, so this is definitely something that they want to kind of take advantage of, and it looks like D-Rec is falling extremely low here. Fatal Rampage is away from the majority of his team. No heals are out for him as well, but Exfuser was there to potentially catch D-Rec. They will get the kill onto him. Fatal Rampage trying to get the toss over the gate, but it wasn't enough, and they currently start to burn down this mid lane, and this potentially... Well, I was going to say, if the next Punisher is mid, this is really bad, but still, they currently burnt down that bottom gate at the start of the game. We have to remember that. So if they get this, this is an extremely strong push and extremely strong start to this game. We're 5 minutes, 30 seconds in. We're losing a fort here, and we're about to achieve 10s almost. Now, at the same time, Dahaka, we have to note, has been pushing up this top lane. They could potentially utilize this wave to get this fort, even up the leveling a little bit here, but at the same time, about a level difference, and with those 10s so close, they really need to play safe on the side of Come At Me, bro. We're going to have the Grey Mane going ahead and picking up this camp. Just going to have that push up into the top lane with the Dahaka during, and if they do give this over, which it looks like they are going to, this will be aggressing onto the keep front gate, so definitely the longer they can delay this, this will be the benefit for them. But they let this just go over. They start to rotate a few of their members into the lane to start to protect this. 10s have literally just been achieved on the side of Illusion Esports, and they actually take them. Stage dive? Interesting. Flailing Swipe from the Stukov. We have Leaping Strike from the Lunara. Rain of Vengeance from Vala, and we currently have... That is Army of the Undead, yes, okay. I wasn't looking at the art wrong. But we currently have a Punisher aggressing onto a Keep Gate. Now, the other thing we have to consider here is ETC is rotated away to go into that Dahaka to push back that current top lane push. He has a global just like Dahaka, so if he does leave, he can come into the team just like Dahaka can brush truck behind the enemy team. They go ahead and they actually disengage from this Punisher. They say the enemy team has 10s. We don't want to fight without our ETC. Now, granted, he does have that, stage dive, but he has to push back against this Dahaka so they don't lose out too much in this top lane, because another Punisher in this lane could potentially spell disaster for them. We saw how that first one went, where, yeah, they did lose out on the side of Come Hat Me because the fact that they did lose a couple members, but the Flailing Swipe is actually out here. They're just fighting over this camp. There's a huge taunt out onto one of the members here. But the Phoenix is there as well. Exfuser falling so low, but utilizing the Army of the Undead to save himself here. He's actually going to get pulled. Lunara is going to be falling here first. There is the cleanse out onto the Dahaka. They're falling so low here. Burger's going to be falling, and actually Kozer being able to get that kill. Now they're going to have to back off here. You don't want to spread the Chain Bomb from the Kael'thas. They actually do want to spread the Pustule, though, from their Stukov here, and they are able to walk away from this with the advantage on the side of Illusion Esports. Granted, they didn't get the camp, but they got the overall kills. And meanwhile, maybe I shouldn't say they won that over, because top has been stacking up because of that Dahaka. Lunara now is back from her death, so she will be able to clear this out extremely quickly with that Splintered Spear that she had at level 7, I do believe. Morales, that grenade, like, that's what I was exactly talking about. She just, it wasn't like a full health wave, but she cleared it out. She does some damage. At this point, though, we see the majority of the teams are currently just rotating around, getting camps, playing extremely safe until this next Punisher starts back up. This next one, it's randomized throughout the map, obviously, but I would assume it would be middle. It's the only one they haven't technically had next, but then again, you could have it in top lane. It's completely randomized. There's just like fractional chances for 2 in a row. There's like very, very like small percentile chances you can get like bottom twice, top twice, mid twice. We actually have a huge throw on the Koza here. There's the power slide out. They're not able to get the kill. There's the cleanse onto Direct. Fortunately, though, there is the leaping strike. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that pause button, because we did have a member of the enemy or one of the teams actually drop there. And we'll go ahead and just take us away here while we solve this quick issue. So we're going to have one of the members currently just lagging out a little bit here. They will let me know. Oh, okay. He said all good, and I'm like, wait, no, that guy's not on your team. I can't. Okay, yeah, it looks like he actually dropped out. Okay. So yeah, we do have a pause currently, so we'll go ahead and just... they'll let us know when they're ready, but we'll just take a quick peek at some of these talents. Unfortunately, I cannot show them to you because it does show my minimap a little bit, and I don't want to give them any advantages here. I'm going to go ahead and ask the teams if they are ready, and then we will do a countdown and come back. I have to push all the buttons at once, so we're going to go ahead and just pull us back in here, and we will do a 3, 2, 1 pause break. So, we are back into this game, and he has left once again. He has rejoined the game. Hopefully, he is in control currently. Hopefully, because he did just pop Army the Undead, and he is currently chasing the entire enemy team. Okay, I think that was still the bot. I don't know if he joined back in or not. It still just says Arthas. We will see either way. Let's pull back up some of these counts, because 13s were achieved on the side of Illusion Esports. That was just... I don't know, I think that might have been the bot just being like, you know what, let's go for a fight, and just like hit Arm the Undead and just start running into that battle. But either way, we do have this shrine currently being won over by Illusion Esports. But they are playing safe. It looks like both teams are just kind of playing on their half of the shrine. They only need 9 more. It looks like Exfuser is completely back into the game. We do have a huge slide in from Koza here onto Art Vandalay. There's a leaping kick from Unaverted as well. Huge stage dive, and that's going to get the kill onto the Kael'thas. The stim drone is out onto D-Rec here, who just can't get in because the garage will be falling. They're zoning so many of the members away here. We have Lunara just chasing them out, and meanwhile, we have to also note that there has been a Punisher currently stomping down this mid lane onto the keep. Currently going to have another member. I'm going to ask if they want to pause, and it's up to them. They have to tell me. Okay, they said it's fine for now. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and pause the game. So we'll go ahead and just switch this off. All right, I let them know that we'll just let it. We're gonna let his internet level out really quickly, and then we will go back into the game. But for now, my dog will be just coughing right behind me. Hi, bud. Are you okay? All right, we just have to wait for his internet to level out. But let me see. No, it's like Spike Launcher or something. Yeah, that's exactly it. I personally, the Spike Launcher at level 1. We can look into it now that we have a little bit of time. So basic attacks become ranged and slow enemies by 20% for 1.5 seconds, but deal 30% less damage. It's an interesting talent. I personally just I don't know how I feel about it. Because it changes his entire playstyle completely. Like he's a completely different hero at that point. Because before, you had to, you okay, bud? Making all sorts of crazy noises. No, that's really interesting. I have never played that talent ever before. And so that's really interesting. I'll have to check that out sometime, honestly. But either way, we're just waiting for this one hero's internet to come back, just level out a little bit, and then we are going to see what is going to be happening with this next Punisher that has been summoned. Let me just double check. Okay, so we are set on to the correct server. Okay, cool. Yeah. But once again, I am Bahamut. I do a lot of casting. If you're actually enjoying the stream, please, now would be a wonderful, absolutely great time if you could go ahead and just follow. If you're enjoying the stream, I try and cast as much as I can. I have another game tomorrow night for the Nexus Gaming Series. I should be filling in a couple games here and there. If I'm not streaming, like if I'm not casting, I'm either doing some sort of like Team League with friends or Hero League just to kind of try and climb through the wonderful salt mine that is Hero League. So definitely, there's always content coming out. I just yesterday finished discussions with Tesla to do some casting with them for a couple of their events. By no means, just so like it's 100% clear, like by no means like they're not like sponsoring me or anything like that. It's mostly just them saying they're giving me the opportunity to cast some of the games that they are organizing. So absolutely so excited. It's it has to do a lot with the heroes of the. It's not really heroes of the dorm because they could potentially change the name or whatever they want to call it. But it's a boot camp before that entire phase starts.
A new subscriber has been acquired.
Panda, thank you so much for the resubs.
HAYYYYY.
Thank you so much, Panda. Thank you for the resubscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again. Looks like they're just trying to figure out a few things. Oh, Panda. But if you are enjoying the stream, please, if you can go ahead, reasonable something like 5 to 10 minutes. It's up to the teams. I honestly don't know if there are any rules that have been set for this. For if there's a DC, like how long are we supposed to wait? In other leagues that I've done, typically it's anywhere from there's like a 5 to 10 minute, and then you have to play with a bot or just take the forfeit. It's up to you. Typically, I mean, I would rather play with a bot because potentially your buddy can come back. You just have to play the game until he can come back. I don't know. I honestly have never had a DC because of a bot or like a disqualification because of a bot. I've never had to do that to anyone. Typically, we try and play it out. I honestly can try and ramble as long as I want. So it's really up to the teams, however long they want me to kind of sit here and just talk about absolutely nothing. But the other thing that I want to talk about, which is absolutely nothing, is just if you are interested in just checking out some of the other things that I've casted for different leagues, definitely you can go ahead and check that out on my YouTube page. If you hit !YouTube in the Twitch chat, it will go ahead and give you the link for that, as well as !Twitter. I always try and tweet out the morning of, if not at least a couple hours before I go live. Sometimes if I pick up a last-minute cast, I'll just, the moment I know, I'll tweet it out right away. But definitely we have a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. There's a match tomorrow night. We might even snag one for Tuesday. Wednesday, we might just do like a Hero League stream or something. Team League, who knows? I got to talk to all my friends and see what their schedule's like themselves. And then Thursday, we have a Cheer League playoff game. And then Friday, I believe there is another Nexus Gaming. Yep, that's another game I'll have Friday. And then Saturday's open, and I think Sunday is another Nexus Gaming. So there's always something happening over here. So definitely come swing by and check out different teams. Currently, we are casting. This is Division A. So this is technically the highest tier of play within the Nexus Gaming series. But even then, all the leagues need your support, and all the levels should be viewed. I mean, that's the reason I cast. I want to give a platform to all the people that actually, like, I'm not good enough to be like streamed like this. Like, you can watch my horrible Hero League games where I play bad heroes. But like I played, in leagues before, and it's just I enjoy casting so much more. I love just kind of putting people on this pedestal so they can, they can showcase their skills. It feels absolutely wonderful to have someone do that for you. And just my mod Panda, thank you so much. Okay, so we do have them currently loading back up into HOTS. They'll have to go through the wonderful replay system, but it shouldn't be too long until we get back into the game. Now is the time, definitely to go grab a beer. It's past the cocktail hour. Typically 7 o'clock is the cocktail hour. So, I mean, he's loading back up in. He's got to go through the reconnect system. I mean, if you got to get a beer, like, now's the time to run and get that beer. I would grab one, but then I would be burping through the entire cast, and I did it once, and I felt so bad. Now, if it's just Hero League, oh, no, I have no problem having one beer, but I used to try it, like, and, I'd be like, oh, it was a Friday night, I'll have a couple beers and play Hero League, and it's just like, that's a horrible idea. Like, that doesn't end well, ever. But currently, it looks like we just have them finishing up this load-in process, and then we'll be back underway for the rest of our game. And I appreciate you guys so much for hanging through this. All right, looks like they're rejoined. I will let them know just to give me a heads up so I can just give them a nice countdown, and then we'll hit the pause break and get right back into this game. What model Sennheisers are these? I would have to look. Actually, I might be able to get this really quickly because I think I have it on my PC part picker list. I should add like all my stuff, like my Stream Deck, my mic, all that. I should add that to my Twitch. Sennheiser HD 439 headphones. I absolutely love these. They're great for people who wear glasses. The only thing that the one complaint I have about these, like, I can't wear a hat and my glasses. It makes my ear. I think like the foam is just a little bit too small for my ears at least. But I honestly don't mind not wearing a hat while I stream because 9 times out of 10 this room gets way too hot. So we just have to wait for the last hero. He's just got to get through the reconnection system. But yeah, I'll try and I'll make a note to myself to add in the extra. I can't write and tell someone the exact same thing at the same time. Add in the extra info on my panels for my computer stuff, so that way at least it's readily available. But I have most of the standard stuff. But like I use like a Stream Deck. I don't think I have my camera listed in there. Oh, it looks like someone has lost their connection, so I don't know if he's going to be coming back in. At this point, I think they need to make a choice as to what they would like to do here. You need beers to survive Hero League. That, you know what, Panda? This is the only thing that I don't like about being on like on such a long delay is because like when I respond to people, it's like 2 minutes from now. Like it takes forever to get the information back. But you do make a really good point. Like beers, it feels like it might make it a little bit worse, but it also makes it a little bit better too, because you just numb the pain. They're currently making jokes. It's just the guy's having internet connection issues and just so my DDoS is working. Oh, these teams! I absolutely love this. That they're just they're making light of the situation. This is absolutely great. We'll see what they have to respond with, though. They're trying to figure it out between themselves. So I'm not going to jump in here. I'm going to let them. Okay, so it looks like it's letting him in 3/4 of the way through the reconnection system. Okay, and if it doesn't work, then they're just going to start. Alrighty, cool. We have a decision made. So we'll be going back into this quite quickly. I just cut off the top of my head. All right, but once we get through once he gets through the reconnection system, we will be back underway with our matchup here. If you have any questions during this time, I can answer them eventually. But yeah, throw them in Twitch chat. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go right back into the game. 3, 2, 1, pause break. All right, so we are back into this game. The Punisher currently was walking down mid. It is back. It is killed. We do have our Arthas back into this game. He won't be popping Arm of the Undead and running into the enemy team once again, it looks like. But we do also have the ETC who did go back, and he has been pushing up against the Dahaka, which I really like because of the fact that the stage dive that he can utilize, just like how Dahaka's burrow, it completely counters, not completely counters him, but it makes it so much harder for him to try and actually lane a little bit far up. But we have a lot of this pressure currently. There's so many pings coming out onto Kozer, and it looks like they knew that they were rotating up. They weren't showing on the map. Definitely a good call, so they didn't get that pick. But the one thing I want to talk about with the stage dive talent choice, I absolutely love this because of the fact that they were utilizing their Dahaka in this kind of in the way that you always do, is you keep him in the off lane, far away from the enemy team. You have him create this pressure, and then you have him burrow in at the moment needed for the fight. And so that's the thing that we're utilizing him for. But now that ETC has the stage dive, the moment Dahaka burrows away for that, to make the fight in their favor. You no longer have to rotate him through lane. You can literally just, stage dive into place and, get right back on top of that Dahaka. So I absolutely love the talent choices, the picks here. And so the one thing that, I didn't really talk about too much is this spine launch. This is so interesting. Also, the other thing that we want to consider here is they're trying to time this out with the next Punisher, which is a little risky, but I absolutely love the move. This will buy them a lot of good pressure, especially if the next one is in the top lane or the bottom lane, and it actually is. This is perfect for them. They go ahead, they capture it right away. Unaverted will try and they look like they were going to go in there for a second, but unfortunately they did not. Now 16s are extremely close on the side of Illusion Esports. They can pretty much just get like a minion, and they do. They go ahead and pick up these 16 talents, and with about a level difference, they're looking to make this ETC pick happen once again. They really want to try and go for that. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. No, thank you so much for all the love in Twitch chat. I absolutely love you guys too. Thank you. Ramson and Panda, thank you so much. We currently actually have the Exfuser and Burger going up against each other. This is interesting. They just rotated the entire team up into this top lane for this defense. And I mean, overall, Arthas is winning out over Dahaka. Actually, Fatal Rampage is potentially going to get picked out here. He went in for the back line. There is the cleanse out of the last second, but the Morales beam will not be enough. That will be Garish falling here. The rest of the team is going to be diving out. ETC getting this huge... Oh my god, that huge stage dive. They get the kill onto the Greymane. They're starting to chase down the end, and it is the end. And they actually got the Kael'thas here, who looks like he got shot by a few of the tower shots. Now, granted... They bought a little time for their camp to start pushing in on this keep. They send back the Vala. It will be losing a little bit of health, but it won't mean it's the end for it now. At the same time, this bottom lane did get stacked up quite a bit. They have a lot of minions to kind of burn through at this point, so this will delay the Punisher, I believe, long enough for the entire team to get up. At least Morales should be getting up towards the start of this fight, but they will be definitely losing out on this keep here. With 14 minutes and this Arcane Punisher, the push power that they are about to achieve is going to be extremely powerful. We do have Vala currently rotating in. Now the rest of the team is up. They get the pull from the Greymane, from D-Rec on, and they're going to bring him over towards this other tower just to make sure that they can get that... Dahaka, I think, burrowed top to get the keep, so they got that pressure on the opposite lane. I like that. Now they do believe that they can get this defense. They have the power slide in from the ETC to push back. The Fatal Rampage is taking so much damage. They get the toss out. He will be able to walk out here. The stun will only hit the end. Fatal Rampage trying to get a toss here. Unaverted is able to dodge it. They will be able to get the stim drone out, but that will be the Garrosh falling here. There is potential for the Dahaka to fall, but he does use the tunneling claws. He will be able to stay alive. Exfuser just cutting so much of the damage here. There is the stage dive in from ETC, but that will be the second game ending, and the core fell. It says 1%. But GG, well played. The second game going over to Illusion Esports. All right, and that will conclude it. You cannot forget about the puppy emote. Now I can actually read chat. Oh, thank you so much, Ramson. Well, you have to compliment my artist. My artist, Brandon, he comes up with a lot of this. Like, it's, he would send me mocks of stuff, and I'd be like, I have this idea to have the score screen so I can see it, but I don't want all of it. Like, my messages, so I can just message people about the games and everything, and it just... He came up with a lot of this, and this is all his ideas, and I just kind of sit on the couch, and I'm like, what if there's a puppy there, too? Like, it's just like, that's my input. But Brandon comes up with so much of this. He's an absolutely phenomenal artist, so I have to give major props to him. But also you guys. I mean, you guys make the Twitch chat absolutely so much fun for me. These games, I love casting them. I'm glad that you guys are showing up and enjoying them. So thank you so much for swinging by. Thank you so much for the teams for letting me cast them, as well as NGS. These were absolutely phenomenal games, and these were absolutely phenomenal plays that we saw. Just kudos to both teams, and also thank you Thank you so much to Come At Me Bro for being a little bit patient for waiting on Illusion Esports last member to kind of load in with the internet issues. But that will conclude our stream this evening. Now, please stay tuned. I will try and make sure that we host another caster, or at least another streamer. Let me just double check to see who's online, what's going on. Oops, I need to go over here and just see who is currently scheduled matches. Oops. Caster assignments. Okay, so there are no matches later. But we will be going ahead. We'll just grab a random streamer. Anyways, thank you so much to everyone who came by and watched the stream. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you so much to Panda for the resub. Thank you for Varcheezy for the 100 bits. I absolutely appreciate it. You guys are just the real MVPs of the stream. Thank you so much. If you missed any of this and the VOD does disappear through Twitch somehow, you can go ahead and actually type in !Twitter, and it'll take you to my Twitter page, or my YouTube page, ! YouTube. Give you the YouTube link. You can go there and you can definitely check out the next any of the past stuff that I've streamed, as well as any of the stuff that you might have missed for this game. I typically get those videos up quite soon, so it's definitely something that you can check out right away. I'm just trying to grab another streamer really quick. We are going to grab... I'm just trying to find a random one. We'll just do this one. It's good enough. Okay. So we got that. So once again, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for just watching the stream. I absolutely appreciate it. And, we'll be back tomorrow night with another game. I believe tomorrow night will be Alaska versus Misplaced Alt, if I'm not mistaken. That will be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please, swing by for that. If you hit the follow button, it'll let you know automatically. If not, I'll catch you then. But once again, thank you so much for watching the games. We're going to host a random streamer. You guys have a great night, and thank you.